I think the Rolex waitlist is fun. Rolex waitlists make owning a new one feel like a badge of honor. Also, while we're on the topic of waitlists, the Cyclops is iconic and a great addition to their watches. Wouldn't have it any other way. People are buzzing about it, and I'm all in for these hot takes. Now, check this out. Why do folks splurge on a Rolex? Well, for some, it's that VIP feeling, that whole exclusivity vibe. It's like the secret sauce of luxury, you feel me? I went deep on this in one of my vids, breaking down Rolex's game and how they roll similarly to Patek Philippe and AP. Private players calling the shots, not dancing to the stock market tunes. It's all about flexing that prestige muscle. But let's keep it real. This whole exclusivity dance, is it a blast? Nah, not really for the everyday crowd. Good for Rolex and the diehards, sure, but not the coolest move for the whole watch scene. It's like, yeah, your brand shines, everyone wants a piece, but it might bite you back someday. Now, the Cyclops talk, it's a mood thing. Me, I'm cool with it, but others, total Cyclops haters. It's like pineapple on pizza. You either vibe with it or not, no biggie. Just like the helium escape valve jazz on the Seamaster Diver 3000, you feel me? Next controversial opinion, Moon Swatch haters. People who hate on the Moon Swatch are lazy analysts, elitists who should get out of their watch enthusiast bubble and talk to some regular people. How can millions of people being excited about a watch be a bad thing for Omega or the watch industry? Brands should be rewarded for creative approaches to engaging young watch audiences rather than being met with elitist disdain. So look, I was hyped when the Moon Swatch dropped, right? But let's be real, the hate it's catching now ain't just from watch snobs. I get where you're coming from, saying it's not all about elitists dissing affordable cool stuff. There's legit beef with how Swatch rolled things out. I mean, their whole distribution game was a mess. No solid plan, just chaos. They slept on the fact it'd blow up big. Then the Moonshine Gold move, changing just the second hand after all the hype, not the genius we expected. The hate's not about people bagging a nice watch, that's just petty. If someone's throwing shade at MoonSwatch, it's probably more about the messy launch and the letdown after the first drop, not some highbrow watch snobbery. Next statement. Chronographs are too expensive. Chronograph movements are too expensive even for the complexity. With time, they should get cheaper, but they don't. Look, I gotta disagree here. Chronographs are everywhere, right? They're like the rock stars of watch complications next to the basic date window. People love the look and the vibe. Brands know this, so they're all hopping on the chronograph train, making them cooler and more attractive. But let's step back and think. There are other complications that are way easier to produce than a chronograph. If brands were into chimes, we'd probably be drowning in Christopher Ward Belcantos, calling them overpriced. But let's get real. Chronographs are beasts when it comes to servicing. Every watchmaker will tell you they're a headache. Complex, tough to maintain, and expensive to produce, especially if you're cooking up your own movement. Sure, there are third-party moves like Solida and Value, but that's it. Brands are like, Value 7750 works, good enough. Let's not dive deeper into this money pit. If some brand cracked a code for a slim third-party chronograph, that'd be gold. But it hasn't happened because, truth be told, chronographs are a whole different ballgame, way more complex than we think. Next statement is Lange Söhne is the undisputed pinnacle of watchmaking. No other brand has a chance in comparison. That Lange one, gorgeous, and that L951 movement, it's like a chronograph masterpiece, no joke. The level of artistry and craftsmanship is off the charts. But hold up, when we zoom out and check the watchmaking universe, there are these indie brands doing crazy good stuff, giving Lange a run for its money. Take Moritz Grossman for instance. Maybe not on the watchmaking wizardry level, but in finishing, oh boy, saw one of their movements, hand engraving game strong. Honestly, might even edge out Lange in some spots. And let's not forget the indie legends, Roger Smith, FP Jorn, Gronfeld, those folks are doing mind-blowing work. And Philippe Dufour? Come on, that guy's a legend. But yeah, in the big leagues, if we're talking major groups, Lange is kinda untouchable. No doubt, they're making some of the best watches out there. Next up, we have the watch 36mm nonsense. The whole shift to 36mm watches for guys is a total buzzkill, right? Like everyone's hopping on that train, especially after Rolex went back to that size for the Explorer. Feels like the industry's just blindly following trends instead of thinking it through. Now, I'm with you that 38 to 40 millimeters is the sweet spot for most wrists. Big or small, that's a range that works for the masses. But hey, having a variety of sizes is cool too. Not every watch needs to go back to the 36mm zone. We've got wrists of all shapes and sizes out here. I get it, there was this bling era with huge watches like 45, 46mm ruling the scene. It was too much, so the swing back to 36mm makes sense for many folks. But let's not go overboard with it. We need a mix, you know? Keep the options open, avoid that pendulum swinging too far the other way. Next statement says, Citizen is underrated. Underrated company is Citizen. La Joux-Perret movements, new range of movements, Miura 9075, a real GMT. Frederic Constant with a monolithic Alpina, new bumper movements, Chronomaster Quartz Solar Perpetual Calendar, Accutron Space View 2020. What's next? Citizen being the most innovative watch group is kind of blowing my mind. Seriously, when you look at their track record, it's hard to argue otherwise. I mean, who else in the group game is pushing the boundaries of watch movement tech like Citizen? Grand Seiko maybe, but that's just one brand. Citizen's got some heavy hitters, man. The 0100, the most accurate watch on the planet? That's wild, like 1 second per year kind of wild. And those dive watches, the Eco Drive Tech, bringing solar power and quartz oscillation into play? Revolutionary. They even dropped the first titanium wristwatch. Swatch is cool, but are they pushing the envelope like Citizen? I'm not so sure. Next statement says, Grand Seikos are what most people will consider once they've graduated from Rolexes. The idea of graduating from Rolex to Grand Seiko feels a bit off. Switching doesn't boost your IQ, they're simply different beasts. Grand Seiko nails it with top-notch dials, unmatched artisanal finishing, and leading movement tech like Spring Drive or the 9S A5. They're delving deep into horology. Saying one is better? Nah, they excel in different realms. Rolex lovers might appreciate Grand Seiko, and vice versa. Value for both their unique strengths. No need for enlightenment, both brands stand solid on their own. And for our last unpopular opinion, NATO straps are ugly. Throw a NATO strap on a high-end watch and some non-watch folks might knock it down a peg. It's odd how a NATO can make people assume a watch isn't top tier. Now, I dig NATO straps done right, but it's subjective. No shade if you disagree. When they're spot on and understated, they keep it practical and aligned with their military roots. Monochromatic vibes like black or brown work wonders, especially on watches like an Explorer or Hamilton Khaki Field. Simplicity equals beauty. Yet, some push NATO experimentation to the limit. Purple NATO on a luxury sports watch with a different color dial? Not my thing, but you do you. In my playbook, subtlety rules. Stick to cool NATO colors that blend well, a safe bet for various occasions. Bold choices exist, but let's be real, not everyone's beach-bound daily. Trust me, well-done NATO straps are a sight. Stray from that and things can get iffy. And that's a wrap. Thanks for being here with us at ventichic. Don't forget to like and comment on this video and make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss an update. See you in our next video.